dialogue, paradox, and dialect. These are all writing techniques that you can use when you're trying to write your own literary work. So let's talk about each one of these. Dialogue is going to be the exact words that a character speaks. So not just their thoughts, but exact words. And you can tell these apart from the rest of the story because they are put in quotation marks. So if you see something in quotation marks, it is most often going to be dialogue. An example would be, "Please pass me the bread." Said Adam, period. So, "Please pass me the bread" is what Adam actually said. And it is in quotation marks to set it apart from the rest of the narration so that you know someone is speaking. So if you're looking for where someone said something, you can just try to jump to quotation marks that you see and see if that's the quote you were looking for. Another literary writing technique is paradox, which is the use of contradictory statements. And these are usually used to make the reader pay attention. They kind of jump out at you and make you think. It makes you pay attention. It makes you have to go back and reread that sentence and say, wait a minute, that doesn't really make sense. But you understand why the author said it that way. So let me give you an example. "Nobody goes to that restaurant. It's too crowded." Well, it wouldn't be crowded if nobody was going there. So this sentence would be a paradox. Nobody goes to that restaurant. It's too crowded. Well, if it's crowded, someone's going there. Now, this sentence can make sense to you because if you know there's a restaurant that's often crowded, it may be a restaurant you're not as likely to go to. But someone's going there or it wouldn't be crowded. And that's what a paradox is. A sentence that has contradictory statements and makes the reader have to read it again and think about it and think about what the author is actually trying to make you understand there. One more is dialect. And dialect is a particular way of speaking that is specific to a region or group. For instance, here in America, a lot of people speak English, but there are different areas of the country where people are going to speak different dialects of English, or different time periods in America's history where people spoke different versions, different dialects of English. For instance, an African American slave in Civil War times would have a different dialect than a New York lawyer today. So, you can think about that and how this was a different region and group of people and time frame than the New York lawyer, and think about the different ways that they might have spoken. An example you might still hear today is in the South, people might say y'all. They're saying, "Oh, are y'all going to see that movie tonight?" But up north, they would be more likely to say, "Are you guys going to see that movie tonight?" They don't use the word or contraction phrase, y'all, as much as we do here in the South. So, the dialect of characters can help root the characters and the story in the setting and time frame of the book. For instance, hearing y'all in the South and you guys up north has to do with the setting, the place where people live. Where knowing that African American slaves in Civil War times would speak differently than a New York lawyer today has to do with the time frame. So whenever you're reading a story, understanding the time frame and the setting would let you understand why there's a different dialect, but it helps make those characters and the story seem more authentic. So if you are working on a particular piece of writing, keep in mind that dialogue, paradox, and dialect are 3 techniques that you can use.
If you need a study guide, click the book at the bottom of the page. If you want more free test videos, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you just want to keep watching, click the next video.